we had a twin turbo motor, and we weren't exactly happy with that, the way it was working with no prep. So I was gonna do right between. I'd ordered all the parts. It was after the second race in the no prep last year. Got with Proline and Brad Personette and everybody, and we ordered all the parts to swap over to ProCharger. So it was 6 weeks until we could get it. So we figured we're gonna go and do that swap during the downtime. And so that's what we planned, and basically it worked out. All the stuff started showing up right before, and we were in Darlington, and we had one more that was a rain out in Illinois. It was the only race we missed last year, and the reason being is we sucked so damn bad at Darlington, and it was hot as hell, and I kept shaking the shit out of the tires, just literally beating the crap out of the car. And as the race went on, I was next to Larry Larson, and we're out there shaking and shit. I'm trying to race my way in, and I didn't get in, and I shook the tire again, broke the ring gear. Thing was clanking down at the other end, and I'm like, this is just bullshit, man. I'm done. I'm not gonna go to Illinois and then try to go home. And it was kind of a good thing, because literally, to drive home, and that was hell too. Had blowouts and all kinds of stupid shit happen. People don't really understand how rough that is, but maybe we'll start videoing some of that so people can see what the real life of getting from one place to another. So anyway, we came home and started working on the car, and had to do a whole bunch of work to it to put the ProCharger in, to raise the engine and stuff, and change the ride height in the car. Like, we had to do a whole bunch of shit to get it done, and it was no joke. Like, my family hadn't seen me because I was on the road, and they definitely didn't see much of me when I was out in the garage working on the car. Me and Marty, and we busted our asses. So at the end of the day,
he's home. He's really not home because he's in the shop.
Yeah, I'm in the shop doing my shit. But anyhow, the right up to the end, we were busting our ass, and no joke, we drove all the way up to Bakersfield. That was the only place we could test. It's really hard to find a place to test, especially in summertime. And the crazy thing was, there was a nostalgia race that they had going at Bakersfield, and I called over there and I'm like, hey, I need to test this car. And they're like, well, it has to be an old car. And I'm like, yeah, it's a 68 Chevelle. And he's like, okay, you can come test with us then. I show up, and you're not supposed to have electronics or whatever. And it was Friday night. We went over to check the car for Saturday, to test Saturday, Sunday. And we took the hood off, and they're like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Is basically what they said. And I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, well, we say it on electronics, and like, we don't expect something like this. And I'm like, well, come on, man. I'm like talking to him, like trying to talk him into letting me run, and I did. Finally, they were gracious enough. They said, look, you can't. No, it was just testing, but they said you cannot go faster than 750 in a quarter mile. And I said, I'm just going to run it to the 8th. That's all I need to do. I just need to make some runs. Please let me run. So I begged those guys to let me run. And I told them, hey, I said, literally Monday morning, I'm going to be leaving for Virginia. I got to drive all the way to Virginia, which is freaking crazy, right? So as much as we did there, we were able to test. We broke the trans on the first run. And in the second run, it went right down. It was running good. And then we did the third run on Sunday and broke some stuff on the throttle cable. It lost some throttle, but still ran pretty good. So we're like, well, you know what? Let's haul ass home and fix, the couple things that we know is wrong with it. And then basically Monday we were headed for Virginia. And I don't know, if you're from California, to drive from California to Virginia by yourself like I did and get there, that's no joke. And then after that race, we raced in Team Attack and made it to the semifinals in Team Attack, if you guys watched the show, which for the weekend, that was pretty good to be able to do that. We did not get in on a race your way in. I had some electronics screw up on me, and I ended up getting beat on the race your way in. That thoroughly sucked. to go all that way, and the car was running good. Obviously, we went down through there on team attack, so we didn't win. We never did win one last year, which sucks. But after the race, that was the other hard part. It was like after driving all the way to Virginia, after the race was over, we had to drive all the way to Idaho. So another over 40 hours of driving. In the midst of it, stopped by Mark Mickey and had the trans rebuilt and had some freshen up and some stuff going, done there. So anyhow, pretty crazy. Just want to say hi to everybody. Ben, how you doing?
Kevin wants to make
Jeff.
sure you're on Bowman Racing page and not your personal page.
Yeah, I'm on Bowman Racing. So, we really could use some help. We're trying to get all of our YouTube stuff going. And if you could subscribe to that and ring the bell, that would be awesome. It will really help us out.
Bowman Racing.
Yeah, Mike Bowman Racing.